Every day, thousands of customers leave reviews that can make or break a restaurant's reputation. One five-star comment can boost business for weeks, and one frustrated one-star review can spread across Google, Yelp, and social media in minutes. That's the challenge restaurants face today, and that's precisely why companies like Serve to Service exist. Our consulting team specializes in understanding these reviews, analyzing customer patterns, and helping restaurants respond, improve, and protect their public image. We've seen restaurants with incredible food suffer simply because they didn't know how to manage online feedback. And we've seen others rise to the top because they turned reviews into strategy. And that's where our work begins, turning customer voices into actionable solutions. In today's presentation, I'll be showing you how Serve to Service approaches this review analysis process and why it's so essential in the hospitality industry. Later on, I'll walk you through the review patterns we discovered for Rumi's Kitchen, but first, I'd like to introduce you to who we are and why our consulting approach makes such a difference. Serve to Service began with a simple belief: great service should never end at the dining table. In today's world, a restaurant story continues online, in reviews, comments, and the conversations customers have long after they leave. Our company was created because we recognized a major gap in the hospitality industry. Restaurants were working incredibly hard to deliver great food and memorable experiences, but many struggled to manage the digital side of customer service, their reviews, their online reputation, and the communication strategies that keep guests coming back. That's where Serve to Service found its purpose. We built our company on three core qualities: character, caring, and competence. Character means leading with integrity and helping restaurants turn every piece of feedback, whether it's praise or criticism, into meaningful improvement. Caring means taking the time to understand each client's story, their team dynamic, and their long term goals. We don't give cookie cutter recommendations, we tailor solutions to the restaurant itself. And competence comes from years of combined experience in hospitality leadership, marketing analytics, and customer experience strategy. Our consultants are our consultants know how to elevate both the online presence and in person service of a restaurant. What truly sets Serve to Service apart is how we communicate. Internally, we practice active listening, transparency, and respect, the same values we teach our clients. Every team member has a voice and every idea is heard. Externally, we bring that same professionalism to our clients, helping them communicate clearly with their staff and authentically with their guests. Our mission is simple: to serve the service industry by inspiring authentic communication, strategic growth, and long lasting guest loyalty. Right now, our goals include helping restaurants better understand their online reviews, strengthening their customer communication, and improving service consistency. Long term, we aim to expand our consulting reach, offer full scale digital reputation management, and partner with hospitality programs to support training and development across the industry. Over time, Serve to Service has proudly supported a variety of restaurants, from fine dining establishments in Atlanta to coastal grills in Savannah and casual cafes in Athens. These partnerships have helped restaurants improve their reputation, build stronger customer relationships, and ultimately deliver a better guest experience, both online and in person. That foundation is what guides our work today and what allows us to provide honest, strategic, and impactful guidance to the restaurants we partner with. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Lowe, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak with you today. Before I introduce my consulting company, I want to begin with who I am, because my personal journey is the foundation of why I serve clients the way I do. I built my career in customer care and hospitality while earning a bachelor's degree in business management from Windsor Valley University, where I graduated with honors. Working full time while completing my degree taught me discipline, organization, and the ability to stay composed under pressure. Three skills that directly shaped my approach to leadership and service. Throughout those years, I held multiple roles in customer service and team support, and I quickly realized something important: great service isn't delivered, it's felt. I became the person colleagues came to for clarity, customers trusted for solutions, and new employees relied on for guidance. Those experiences taught me the power of communication, empathy, and consistency, qualities that later became the backbone of my consulting work. As I moved into leadership roles, I discovered a passion for developing people, whether I was coaching someone through a difficult interaction, explaining expectations, or helping them rebuild confidence. I found purpose in seeing others succeed. That passion naturally transitioned into my work with Serve to Service, where I now help entire restaurant teams improve communication, strengthen service delivery, and understand the customer experience from the guest point of view. In my role as Director of Client Success, I specialize in analyzing customer reviews, identifying patterns that affect guest satisfaction, and translating those insights into practical steps restaurants can use to elevate their image and in person service. My background in leadership, communication strategy, and customer experience development allows me to see the story behind the reviews, the opportunities, the blind spots, and the moments that influence whether a guest chooses to return. This expertise matters because in today's industry, reviews aren't just opinions, they shape reputation, visibility, and long term success. Restaurants depend on accurate interpretation of feedback to grow, and my job is to make that interpretation clear, actionable, and focused on long term improvement. Everything you'll hear today is built on real experience, hard work, and a genuine dedication to helping businesses understand their guests more deeply. Serve to Service wasn't created from theory. It was built from years of hands on leadership, customer insight, and a passion for elevating service from the inside out. Thank you for taking a moment to learn about me. Now, I'd like to share the mission and vision behind Serve to Service and how our company supports restaurants in improving their image, communication, and customer service. Today, I'll be providing an overview of Rumi's Kitchen, a well established Parisian fine dining brand that has become a prominent part of Atlanta's culinary landscape. For more than a decade, Rumi's Kitchen has built a strong reputation around modern Persian cuisine, combining traditional flavors with elevated presentation and a refined dining atmosphere. The restaurant is known for its signature offerings such as saffron chicken kebabs, lamb shake, basmati rice enhanced with aromatic spices, and an assortment of meze dishes that consistently rank among guests' favorites. The brand's focus on fresh ingredients, bold seasoning, and artistic plating is one of the core elements that draws repeat diners. Rumi's operates multiple locations across the metro Atlanta area, including Sandy Springs, Midtown, and Alpharetta. Across locations, guests frequently highlight the sophisticated ambiance, warm hospitality, and cohesive brand experience, which contributes to the restaurant's strong positioning in the fine dining market. Within the competitive landscape, two notable competitors include Del Bar and Fia Restaurant. Del Bar shares a similar Middle Eastern Mediterranean foundation, appealing to guests seeking flavorful, contemporary interpretations of regional cuisine. Fia competes more broadly within the upscale global dining category, attracting a similar demographic of guests seeking refined, high-quality dishes in a polished environment. While all three establishments prioritize quality and presentation, Rumi's distinguishes itself with a stronger emphasis on Persian culinary traditions, a more consistent fine dining brand identity, and a service model that aims for high-touch guest experience. Understanding this competitive context helps us elevate how Rumi's Kitchen is perceived by guests, and its strengths can be leveraged within its market. Based on recent Google and Yelp reviews, several clear strengths consistently position Rumi's Kitchen as a leader in its market. The first and most prominent strength is the quality and consistency of the food. Nearly 80% of positive reviews mention the flavors, presentation, or freshness of the dishes. One guest actually wrote, "This was one of the best meals I've had in Atlanta. Every bite was beautifully seasoned and the presentation was stunning." This level of praise reinforces the restaurant's strong culinary identity and distinguishes it from competitors such as Del Bar, where feedback trends show more variance in food execution. The second major strength is the ambiance. Guests repeatedly highlight the elegant decor, warm lighting, and modern Persian design elements that create a refined dining environment. A reviewer commented, "The atmosphere is gorgeous. It feels upscale without being pretentious." This is an area where Rumi's clearly outperforms similar restaurants like Fia, which perceives more mixed feedback related to ambiance and noise levels. A third key strength is the professionalism of the staff. While service consistently does fluctuate during peak hours, the majority of reviews praise the attentiveness and courtesy of the team. One guest shared, "Our server anticipated what we needed before we even asked. Truly exceptional service." This reflects well on Rumi's internal training and reinforces the premium experience their brand is known for. Overall, the combination of exceptional food, elevated ambiance, and generally attentive service are strengths that Rumi's Kitchen should continue to emphasize as they form the foundations of the restaurant's competitive advantage. Despite its strong reputation, the review patterns also reveal several opportunities for improvement. The most common concern involves value perception, specifically the price to portion ratio. Around 20 to 25% of critical reviews mention that portions feel small for the price point. One reviewer wrote, "Everything tasted excellent, but for the price, I expected a little more on the plate." This feedback suggests a disconnect between guest expectations and menu value, particularly for first time visitors. The second weakness relates to reservation delays and wait times. Several guests reported longer than expected waits despite having reservations. For example, a guest noted, "Our reservation was at 7, but we weren't seated until 7:30." This is the type of operational inconsistency that can affect first impressions and lead to lower satisfaction scores over time. A third opportunity involves service consistency during high volume periods. While many reviews praise the staff, others mention slower follow up or less attentive service when the restaurant becomes busy. One customer commented, "The service started strong, but once the restaurant filled up, it became difficult to get our servers' attention." Competitors like Del Bar face similar challenges, but they receive fewer mentions of delayed service pacing, which suggests an opportunity for roomies to refine staffing structure or table coverage. These weaknesses do not overshadow roomies' many strengths, but they do indicate areas where targeted adjustments could significantly improve the overall guest experience and enhance the restaurant's competitive position. Highlighting these patterns provides actionable clarity. Understanding both the strengths that define your brand and the issues that disrupt the guest experience allows you to make informed decisions about training, operations, and communication. These insights directly support stronger service execution, better consistency across locations, and long term reputation growth in a very competitive market. Based on the review patterns we analyzed, there are several strategic opportunities that can strengthen the overall guest experience at Rumi's Kitchen and further elevate the brand. The first opportunity involves enhancing value perception through portion size adjustments or menu communication. While guests overwhelmingly praise the flavors, around 1 in 5 reviews mention that the portions feel smaller than expected for the price. One reviewer shared, "The food was incredible, but I left wishing the portions were just a bit larger." Addressing this concern, either by slightly increasing portion sizes or by clarifying menu descriptions, would improve perceived value and strengthen first time guest impressions. The second opportunity is streamlining the reservation and seating process. Several guests mentioned longer than expected waits despite having a reservation, which can create frustration upon arrival. As one comment noted, "We had a reservation but still waited 30 minutes to be seated." By tightening up scheduling buffers, improving communication at the host stand, and adding text-based updates, roomies can reduce early dissatisfaction and reinforce the smooth, polished experience guests expect from a fine dining restaurant. Another opportunity is enhancing service consistency during peak hours. While many guests praise the staff, reviews also indicate slower response times once the restaurant becomes busy. One guest commented, "The service was excellent at first, but it slowed down once the crowd picked up." Implementing clearer table coverage zones, mid-shift team huddles, or targeted service pacing training can help ensure that every guest receives the same level of attentiveness, regardless of volume. Finally, there is an opportunity to highlight Rumi's strongest brand elements, such as its ambiance and artistic plating. More intentionally, though, social media and in-restaurant communication. Guests frequently praise these aspects, and reinforcing that identity can differentiate Rumi's even further from competitors like Del Bar and Fia. These opportunities reflect areas where small strategic adjustments can create a noticeable lift in guest satisfaction, review scores, and long-term loyalty. In addition to the opportunities for improvement, our review analysis also highlights several potential threats that could impact Rumi's Kitchen if left unaddressed. These are areas where guest dissatisfaction trends show the potential for long-term business risk. The first threat involves declining value perception. which can directly affect first time customer retention. Several guests expressed concerns that the portion sizes do not match the price point. Feedback like this suggests that if expectations around value continue to go unmet, guests may choose more cost balanced competitors such as Del Bar or even shift toward newer Middle Eastern concepts entering the Atlanta market. Another threat relates to reservation delays and the guest frustration they cause. When a guest waits 20 to 30 minutes past the reservation time, it creates immediate dissatisfaction before the meal even begins. In consistent patterns like this, guests may hesitate to book again, choosing competitors with a reputation for smoother seating and pacing. A third emerging threat is service inconsistency during peak hours. While many reviews praise the staff, there is a noticeable number that describes slower service once the restaurant is busy. This inconsistency can weaken the brand's fine dining positioning, especially when competing with restaurants that maintain steady pacing throughout the evening. Finally, the competitive landscape itself poses a threat. Restaurants like Del Bar and Fia continue to grow their following and have been praised for strong communication, vibrant marketing, and more consistent service pace during rush periods. If Rumi's Kitchen does not address its recurring concerns, newer restaurants with modern concepts may attract guests seeking a more predictable experience. These threats are not weaknesses on their own, they are signals. They highlight where unresolved issues could impact customer loyalty, online visibility, and brand reputation over time. Addressing them proactively will not only protect Rumi's competitive position, but also reinforce the strengths that make the brand successful. In conclusion, effective management of online reviews is not just helpful, it's essential. Reviews shape reputation, influence guest experiences, and directly affect whether customers choose to visit, return, or recommend a restaurant. By monitoring these patterns regularly, Rumi's Kitchen can stay ahead of potential concerns, reinforce its strengths, and continue to rise above its competitors. Today's analysis highlighted what guests value most: the exceptional food, refined ambiance, and attentive hospitality, as well as the areas where small strategic adjustments can create a stronger, more consistent guest experience across all locations. Focusing on value perception, service pacing, and reservation flow will help reinforce Rumi's position with the fine dining market and support long-term loyalty among new and returning guests. I've truly appreciated the opportunity to review Rumi's Kitchen and provide recommendations designed to enhance communication, strengthen service delivery, and support overall brand growth. If you have any questions or would like ongoing consulting support, you can reach Serve to Service at 678-999-8212, by email at servetoservice@gmail.com, or through our website at www.servetoservice.com. Before I close, I'd also like to leave you with our company's promotional item, a custom designed canvas tote featuring the Serve to Service logo. It serves as a reminder that exceptional service is something you carry with you wherever you go. Thank you again for your time and for trusting Serve to Service as a partner in elevating your guest experience.